Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D Real coming at you with another Be Real with D Real, where edutainment is what I do. Today, we will be edutaining on fandom. Do people in positions of authority, executives, care about celebrities that care about what fans want? Now, before we get off into it, it's a little article. Of course, there's always a little article. So we're gonna give you a little article. We're gonna delve into it a little bit, chip a few pieces off of it, and then we're gonna come back for the wrap up. But before we do all of that, well, first I'm gonna sip this cup of Kansas City I got. We're gonna get off into what I always respectfully request that we get off into. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Right, champ. Now, let's take a look at what we need to take a look at. Comes courtesy of Fandom Wire. So, very apropos from a fan standpoint. What are we talking about here? It's a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. Before being kicked out of The Witcher, Henry Cavill defended being true to source material, even if it meant people are going to be upset. Where have you heard somebody else defending source material? Knew I wasn't the only one out there. Huh. Okay, this is by the Pop Bish. I think I said that right. And Pop did it yesterday. There we got, of course, the man of the hour, Henry Cavill. And we're going to learn a little bit about what Henry Cavill thinks of fans having an opinion. Here we go, right here. If there is anything that the geek culture demands nowadays, is a proper and true adaptation to the multimedia that they are passionate about. A thing that only a few people, other than star Henry Cavill, can truly grasp. Being one of the few Hollywood celebrities that is a passionate consumer of the aforementioned geek media, he knows what it's like to be so passionate about something that you need it to receive justice. There's our man Henry Cavill right there. Whenever you get done, that's a lot of people, Supermans. Some people disagree, but I thought he was a decent Superman. But these last few months have been testy for the Mission Impossible star as he had to walk out of two of the most significant roles of his career. While losing the role of the Man of Steel in the DCEU, it was a matter of change in the management at Warner Brothers Discovery. He decided to leave the set of Netflix The Witcher due to his beliefs of sticking true to the source material of the show, something that he believed in so much that he would go to any lengths to seek the justice it deserves, even if it meant sacrificing the expectations of some fans. I got to be honest, I can't say I'm mad at him about that. Henry Cavill believed in staying true to the source. Before he denounced being Geralt of Rivia from the fourth season of Netflix super hit show The Witcher, Henry Cavill was a driving force behind the astronomical success of the series based on the Witcher saga, written by Polish author Andrzej Sapkowski, as many of his fans, as well as the audience, believed him to be the perfect star to play the role of the Witcher in the series. Even when the story is now all set to take a deviation from the source, he always knew the consequences of those deviations. During an interview for the promotion of the then upcoming The Witcher, the star was asked what he thinks about the toxic fandom that has sort of become the bane of all multimedia adaptations. And in a classic Cavill response, the star went on to describe these fans as more passionate than toxic, as they are heavily invested in the work. But he also highlighted the fact that even if they completely adapt to the source, there will still be some people who might have had a different perception of something that will clash with the output of that adaptation. Cavill always knew that fans would retaliate if the source material was to ever be tampered with, and that he had to do everything that he could to make sure that it doesn't happen. Thus, when the series decided to deviate, he decided not to participate in that. Now, look here. First and foremost, I want to say salute to my man, Henry Cavill, for sticking so tightly to his principles and clinging to the desire to see genuinely adapted source material, to see media adapt The Witcher into something that comes from source material. He was willing to walk away from the money. He was willing to walk away from the bags. He basically said, F the bags. If y'all ain't going to do this the way it's supposed to be done, the way the author wrote it, I ain't with it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. As a fan, I expect people to adhere to the source material. Now, when I say adhere to the source material, I'm not saying give me Captain America comics #1 from cover to cover on the screen. Very few productions have done that. Watchmen, one of the very few. 300, one of the very few. To just be like 99% adapted from the source material and just says that. Let's put that on. Images, dialogue, and all. You know what I'm saying? You need storyboards? Use the damn comic book for storyboards. Use the graphic novel for storyboards. That way, you are truly adapting from the source material. Now, I'm not saying every project has to be 100% adapted from the source material, but please, if you're going to deviate from the source material, respect the source material. And can you even do that? Can you deviate from source material and still respect it? Yes. Captain America and the Winter Soldier is usually the movie that I cite for this. While pieces and parts of it are based on source material, it does not follow the source material to the letter. So that can be done, and it can be done effectively. It can be done and make an entertaining movie. Captain America and the Winter Soldier, in my opinion, is in the top 5 of all Marvel movies, period, point blank, bar none, for that very reason, that it was respectful of the source material. The first Iron Man movie, extremely respectful of the source material. And probably why that movie was such a success. I mean, Jon Favreau, but you get it. What I'm getting at is a lot of these people, these higher ups, these Feiges, these Kuglers, these Moores, these Guns, these guys that are on the top, that have the control, that have the power, and are saying, I want to do this like this. It isn't like this in the comic book, but I want to do it like this. Marvel, MCU, they don't even bother. They like, we ain't even talking to nobody that reads a comic book or writes a comic book or draws a comic book. We just gonna grab some comic books and go, let's do this. Let's take this, and this out of this comic book and do this. Now, you can do that, but as we've seen, you can do that and not be respectful of the source material. So it is indeed a slippery slope to navigate, but not an impossible one. It boils down to choice and what producers choose to do and what executives choose to do and what directors and writers choose to do with the material that they're given. You know, has there ever been someone that has some material put in front of them and said, is this it? Is this what you want to do? You know, and now I kind of understand why they don't want to talk to anybody that knows anything about the source material, because when they start doing these, you know, off the radar productions, these movies and series that just say to hell with source material, there's nobody there to go, hey, in the comic book I read, that's not how Adam Warlock was introduced. In the comic book I read, T'Challa didn't die. And he sure as hell wouldn't die from a disease. In the comic book I read, Thanos didn't do that with the Infinity Gauntlet. You can make it enjoyable and you can deviate, but don't go off the reservation. You could take your horse and go over to that pasture, long as you still in the enclosure. You could be over there on that end doing your thing, but as long as you are within the framework of what's going on, should be good. Eternals have no idea what happened there. First Suicide Squad movie, have no idea what happened there. Third Blade movie, have no idea what happened there. So trust me when I say, on both sides of the fence, there has been some crazy deviation that deserves a whole lot of side eye. But at the same time, when we make it known that we want you to respect the source material, and you don't respect the source material, and then we kick up a stink about it and get called fanatical and get called toxic. You heard what Henry Cavill said in that article. Recast T'Challa ain't toxic, it's passionate. And if we just supposed to back off and bow down because we're being passionate about what we believe in, got another thing coming, okay? Just because people ain't hollering and screaming at the top of their lungs like they used to last year, it's still recast T'Challa all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Make no damn mistakes, okay? And y'all can come in the comments if y'all want to, but you better have the balls to stand up to it, because it's breakfast time if y'all coming for D-Real, anti-recasters and trolls. It's breakfast time. Some of y'all might not even get the time of day. So, you trying to get your 15 minutes of fame on my page, you ain't gonna make it. Representation. This is where all of this comes from. We talk about Black representation. We talking about genuine, authentic representation. That's what we want. So again, man, shouts out to my man Henry Cavill for having the intestinal fortitude and the beach ball size nuts to say, I'm not fucking with that Hollywood machine. I'm gonna go ahead and step away. A lot more people in Hollywood need to do that instead of capping for the bags. Because there's a bunch of y'all celebs out there capping for the bags. I understand. Oh, I got bills to pay. Okay, I understand you got bills to pay, but you ain't got a lot to kick it. as my man Pac used to say back in the day. Tell the truth, shame the devil. That's what my grandma always said. So, what do y'all think? Do you think we, as fans, have the right to demand proper representation, adherence to source material? Drop that shit in the comments. I'm curious to hear what y'all think. That's it for now. But fret not, y'all. I will be back with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.